Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is looking up to pray. Not down, not sideways, up. Nobody taught them to do that. It just feels correct, like the sky is where the answers live. But why up? You've never questioned it. Your parents never questioned it. Nobody in your family has questioned it for roughly 10,000 generations. And tonight, if thunder cracks above your house, your body will flinch before your brain understands why. For half a second, you will feel small, watched. Your ancestors felt that exact same flinch 100,000 years ago, except they didn't call it weather. They called it a voice. And here is the part that should keep you watching until the very end of this video. Almost every ancient culture on Earth, on every continent with zero contact between them, decided the exact same thing. God lives up there. Zeus ruled from a mountain that touched the clouds. Yahweh spoke from the sky. Ancient India prayed to Dyaus Pitta, the Sky Father. China had Tian, the heaven above. The Incas, the Aztecs, the tribes of Africa, the hunters of Siberia. Different languages, different worlds, same answer. That is not a coincidence. That is a clue. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand something uncomfortable. The reason your ancestors put God in the sky is still running inside your head right now, whether you believe in anything or not. Let's go back. Way back. Picture your ancestor. 200,000 years ago, standing on a golden savanna as the sun goes down. No books, no priests, no word for God because no words for almost anything yet. Just a brain. But not an ordinary brain. A brain that was about to invent something that would outlive every empire in human history. Here is what that brain was really good at: spotting danger. The grass moves. Was it the wind, or was it a lion? Your ancestor had two choices. Assume it was wind and relax, or assume it was a lion and run. Now, think about the cost of each mistake. If you run from wind, you lose a few seconds and look silly. If you relax next to a lion, you lose everything. So evolution made the choice for you. It built a brain that always assumes something is there. A brain that sees intention everywhere. Scientists have a name for this. The anthropologist Stuart Guthrie called it seeing faces in the clouds, and the psychologist Justin Barrett later described the mechanism behind it as a hyperactive agency detection device. Hyperactive agency detection. Sounds complicated. It isn't. It simply means your brain is a smoke alarm for living things. It would rather scream 100 false alarms than stay silent once when it matters. That smoke alarm kept your ancestors alive. But it came with a side effect nobody saw coming. Because the smoke alarm doesn't switch off when the lion leaves. It keeps running. On everything. The river floods and destroys the camp. Who did that? The rains stop and the plants die. Who is angry? Lightning splits a tree in half with a sound louder than anything a human can make. Who threw that? Your ancestor's brain was built to find a someone behind every something. And most of the time on the ground, that instinct was right. Footprints meant a hunter. A broken branch meant an animal. Down here, effects had agents. So when the biggest, loudest, most terrifying effects came crashing out of the sky, the brain did the only thing it knew how to do. It asked, who is up there? Hold that question. Because the answer is stranger than you think, and it has a twist coming that involves your own behavior this week. Now add the second ingredient, dreams. The Victorian anthropologist Edward Burnett Tyler spent years studying cultures around the world, and noticed something universal. Every night, ancient humans closed their eyes and traveled. They spoke with the dead. They flew over mountains. They saw people who were miles away. Then they woke up on the same fur they fell asleep on. Tyler argued this is where the idea of a spirit was born, a part of you that can leave your body. He called this belief animism, the sense that a living essence exists inside people, animals, rivers, even storms. And if your dead grandmother can visit you in a dream, then she still exists somewhere. But where? Not in the camp. Not behind the hill because people walked behind the hill and she wasn't there. She had to be somewhere no living person could ever go and check. Look up. What do you see? The one place on Earth that no human hand had ever touched. Birds could go there. Smoke from the campfire went there. The sun. The moon, the stars, the rain, the lightning, all of it lived there, and none of it could be reached, hunted, or argued with. The sky was the only territory in your ancestors' entire world that was permanently out of reach. That made it perfect. The dead went up with the smoke. The powerful someone who threw the lightning lived above the clouds. The sky became the address of everything humans could feel but never grab. And here is where it stops being a story and starts being evidence. Follow the words themselves. Linguists reconstructed the language spoken by people on the Eurasian steppe roughly 5,000 years ago, and inside it they found a name. Dayos Fater. It means sky father. That single name migrated with those people, and it evolved. In India, it became Dios Pita. In Greece, it became Zeus Pater. In Rome, Jupiter. You have heard the fossil of a Stone Age prayer every time someone says the name of a planet. The Sky Father didn't spread because it was preached. It spread because everywhere it went, human brains were already shaped to accept it. You might be thinking, fine, ancient people were scared of thunder and missed their dead. Cute story. But that doesn't explain why the sky god took over the world. Plenty of ancient spirits lived in trees and rivers too. Why did the one in the sky win? This is the twist, and it is darker and smarter than you expect. Think about what changed when humans stopped living in tiny bands of 30 people and started building villages, then towns, then cities. In a band of 30, cheating is impossible. Everyone sees everything, steal food, and the whole camp knows by sunset. But in a town of 1,000 strangers, you can lie, you can steal, you can disappear into the crowd. Human societies were suddenly full of people no one was watching, and societies full of unwatched people fall apart. The psychologist Ara Norenzayan studied this problem and found something remarkable. As societies grew bigger, their gods grew taller. Small groups had small local spirits who cared about rituals, not morals. Big civilizations almost everywhere developed massive moralizing gods with one specific feature. They watch you, from above, all the time. Norenzayan's research, along with famous experiments where people cheated less when a simple picture of eyes was placed on the wall, points to the same conclusion. A god in the sky is a god with the best view. Nothing hides from up there. And people who believed someone was always watching from above were more honest with strangers, more cooperative, more able to build the huge societies you now live in. The sky god wasn't just an answer to thunder. It was a security camera installed 100 generations before cameras existed. Believe the eye in the sky is real, and you behave, and your society outgrows and outlasts the ones that don't. And before you dismiss this as ancient history, notice something. Your city still works this way. Traffic cameras hang above the road, not beside it. Watchtowers, guard posts, drones, satellites. When humans want obedience, they still put the eyes up high. Your ancestors simply got there first without the hardware. Keep that in mind because in about a minute, this entire story is going to turn around and point directly at something you did this week without noticing. There is one more layer, and it explains why this idea refuses to die. The anthropologist Pascal Boyer asked a simple question. Out of the millions of ideas humans invent, why do some spread like wildfire while others vanish? His answer, backed by memory experiments, is that the stickiest ideas are what he called minimally counterintuitive, almost normal, with exactly one impossible feature. A man, but he can fly. A father, but he lives in the sky and never dies. Familiar enough to understand instantly. Strange enough that you can never forget it. A sky father is engineered, accidentally but perfectly, for the human memory system. It is the most shareable idea our species ever produced. It didn't need writing. It didn't need armies. It just needed one brain telling another brain a story too sticky to drop. So put the whole machine together. A brain that hears intention in thunder, dreams that prove the dead go somewhere, a sky that no one can reach, making it the perfect home for the unreachable, a growing society that desperately needs everyone to feel watched, and a story format the human mind physically cannot forget. Stack those on top of each other, and the sky god isn't surprising anymore. It is inevitable. Run the human experiment on any continent, any century, and the people end up looking up. Now for the part you've been waiting for. What about you? You have weather apps. You have satellites. Humans have physically gone into the sky and they found jet streams and radiation, not thrones. So the instinct must be dead, right? Check your own life. When your team scores, the player points where? Up. When something terrible happens, people don't shout downward. They tilt their head back and ask the ceiling, why me? A good day means things are looking up. Success means rising, climbing, being on top. Failure means falling, sinking, hitting rock bottom. Skyscrapers exist partly because every civilization that could build upward did, from ziggurats to pyramids to cathedral spires, each one a ladder pointed at the same address. Even in a hospital waiting room, even people who believe in nothing at all catch themselves staring upward when the phone won't ring. That reflex is not religion. It is older than religion. It is the 200,000-year-old smoke alarm, still installed, still running, still whispering that the answers are above you. Ancient humans didn't put God in the sky because they were foolish. They put God in the sky because they were paying attention with the only equipment they had to a world full of power they couldn't explain and eyes they couldn't see. The sky was their biggest question mark, so it became their biggest answer. And that is why, right now, somewhere in the world, someone is looking up to pray. Not down, not sideways, up. Nobody taught them to do that. 200,000 years did.